we are going to take a look at Utah's Online Library. So we're going to go up here and we're going to type in Utah's Online Library.org, and that's going to bring us to the website that will help get us over to where we need to go. Now this Utah's Online Library is designed to go anywhere from public libraries to colleges and universities to K-12 schools and at home. Okay, so this is a springboard to any of those things, but we're going to go to the K-12 schools. Now, if you do this from home, it'll ask you to log in at this point. I'm going to probably have to blur this out because we're not supposed to give this out, and since it's probably going to go on YouTube, I'm going to have to blur it out. But let me show you. This is your login name and your password. Now, this has been probably have been blurred out by the time you're viewing it, so your teacher should be giving you this, but it's located on this. So if you go to this at school, you can find out what it is, and then you can access this from home. Now, I've asked you before, what's the difference between using Google, which is free, and using UEN, using Utah's Online Library for research? One's free and the other one's cost lots and lots of money. Why would we pay millions of dollars for this when we can use Google for free? And so we're going to get into that today and take a look at the quality of the sources that we're going to get out of it. Let's look at the layout of Utah's Online Library for K-12 schools. We have the reference collection, and these are the ones that we pay for, that we have, and that we've worked out deals with them. And there used to be a few more in there, but they've recently have taken those out until we can, there's just some issues going on there. So they've taken them out until they can guarantee that they're good, appropriate sources and sites for us to go to. And then down here, so this is the reference collection. We're going to come back to that in a second. We have the Utah resources, and these are resources that I don't believe we pay for any of these. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing here. I don't think we pay for them. These are just links to other things around the state, like to the Salt Lake Tribune and stuff like that. And then other resources, these are other ones out there. Okay, now let's take a look at our reference collection, because we're going to be looking at these. There are different things here to go to. You could go to the World Book Encyclopedia. Now, question is, what's the difference between this World Book Encyclopedia? And I'm going to open this up in a new tab. What's the difference between that one and the ones that I have out there on the shelf? We're going to go into Students. So what's the difference? Well, this one is updated. The one that I have out there, once it comes out, it's done for. It's finished. It is what it is. This one, if I put in Germany, and this is the updated version of Germany. I bet you if we go in here and look for like the population, what would we come up with? It'd give us more of a current one. If we go to, like, let's go here. Let's go to Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. They tell you how to say it. Deutschland über alles. Huh. It's harder to read that way, but this is one difference that this does that ours does not do. Watch this. I hit play. Okay, that's something that my books out there will not do. It won't be able to play that for you. Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. Okay, let's go back. So this is World Book Encyclopedia, the student version of it. So this is going to be updated. It's going to have some videos. It's going to have some sounds. It's going to have things like that that you can't get out of the books. But, you know, if there's a power outage or internet outage, you can still use the books where you can't use this. So that's World Book Encyclopedia, and that's here online. eMedia has different things that we can use, videos, stuff like that. Sounds abound. This one right here has royalty-free music that we are welcome to use. So let's just see what there is. Let's just take a quick look. Let's just say we're looking for music from the, let's say, from the 90s. Let's just do a search and see what it finds underneath 90s. Now, these are things that we are welcome to use inside of video productions and podcasts and things like that. So let's just listen to what it sounds like. These are all 15-second ones. Let's just see. Boy band. Good grunge. Okay, so these are different music things that we have that we can go ahead and use inside of our video production classes, or our if we're doing blogs, or what am I trying to think of? Podcasts. Podcasts is the word I'm trying to think of. So we can use that. So there's other things inside of here. What we're going to cover today mostly is EBSCO. And we're going to go to EBSCO High Schools. Now they have all of these different databases inside of this EBSCO. Okay, and so we can go ahead and search these one at a time. If we know that we want to do a historical reference, or we want to do a biography, we can just click on just that. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to hit all databases, and we're going to search all databases. Now we talked about using Boolean search, Boolean logic, and we're going to get to that in just a second. So this brought up all the different ones there, and we can highlight these and click these one at a time. I want newswires, I want newspaper source plus, I'm just going to hit select all. Now at one time, this took a while. If you selected all and you did a search, it took a while to get search results back, sometimes. And so but now they've gotten a little faster, our internet's faster, things are a little bit better, so I'm going to hit search all, I'm going to hit continue. Now at this point, I can go ahead and put in different things to get exactly what I'm looking for. Now we talked about using Boolean search, or Boolean phrases, Boolean operators, and so we can choose on here, do we want to find all my search terms, find any of my search terms, or smart text searching. Now smart text searching is a little bit more like if you were to search in Google. In Google, you might put how many people live in Germany, but if you're doing a Boolean search, you'd put like population Germany 2020 or something like that. Or you put, actually, if you're going to use a Boolean, let's get more technical. Boolean would be more like population and Germany and 2020 or something like that, or 2021 or 2015 or whatever. And so that's a Boolean phrases that we talked about in some of the last videos. You can also tell it to limit your search to only full text. And so if you did full text, it'll bring up the entire article so you can read the entire article. If you don't do full text, it's going to bring up an abstract. Now an abstract is just a quick little synopsis saying this is what it's about. And I found that some of those abstracts aren't completely accurate. They're close, but you get better information from the actual story. I mean, one time I read a thing and the abstract wasn't completely different, but it was way off of what the actual full text was talking about. So I thought that was interesting. But you can say, I only want full text stuff. You can also say, I only want peer-reviewed journals, scholarly journals. So you can tell, so if your teacher says, listen, it needs to be peer-reviewed, just check that, and it won't find the other stuff. Okay, I'm going to uncheck that for a little bit so we can go and look at some other things. But if we have full text, publications, you can say which publications you'd like to come from. You can say the publication dates. So you want between this year and this year. There's just a lot of different things in here that you can go in here and change and say, I'm looking for this, and it'll help you search it down, or to narrow it down. So one of the things that you might be looking up, I've got a little list of things that you could be looking up, like growth mindset, the flow theory, mental bandwidth, levels of engagement. These are some of the things that some of the teachers are doing right now. And so we're going to look at some of those and just kind of type in some of those that we're going to be looking through the EBSCOhost. So let's do a flow theory, okay? So flow theory, what is flow theory? Well, flow theory, let's take a look to see what we find here first. And here's what's going to come up with. It says phrases of, let me zoom in a little bit, psychologically optimal learning experience. Task-based time allocation model. And so let's take a look at this. This is coming from an academic journal. Now another way to tell if it's coming from an academic journal or more of a scholarly publication than just, let's say, like Time Magazine or something like that, is you look for where it gives you the name of it. That usually tells you a little bit more about it. So you can say that's probably more of an academic journal. But then academic journals, they usually have a date, they have a volume, and then they have an issue, okay? And so those things are kind of giveaways for it. Now, we also had the thing checked that said, I want to have the full PDF text, or the full text, that we wanted to have the full thing, not just part of it, but we wanted to have the full text there, not just the synopsis. Okay, now, how many searches or how many results did it come up with? It came up with 2,397. So we're going to back out. Now, as we look at this, let's see what we can find. Flow experiences in design thinking and practical synergies with LEGO Serious Play. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to open this up in a new tab. And as we open it up, this is what's called the abstract, or the little synopsis in front of it, the abstract right here, and it tells us a little bit about it. It says the flow experience can be an important precursor to the high levels of creativity and innovation. And so it tells you a little bit about what's going to be inside of this. Let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, not a very long one, but there might be a lot of information there that you can use this also as a springboard to get out to other things. Now you can also download it as a full PDF text right over here, or you can look at the HTML text. You can even tell it, print, save it to your Google Drive. You can save it in here so as you log in you can get back to it. You can export it out. You can do a permanent link. Listen, there's a listen too. Let's go to the listen and let's hit play. Okay, and let's just hit play.
Flow experience in design thinking and practical synergies with LEGO Serious Play. Contents. 1. Theoretical background. 2. Hypothesis.
Okay, we're going to pause it there. We can even change it. We can say, give us an Australian accent. See what it sounds like.
Flow experience in design thinking and practical synergies with LEGO Serious Play. Contents.
Okay, I'm going to hit pause. Seems like we can even change it. We can even change the voice. There's an Australian one that I like, and her name's Karen. And I don't see it up there. Let's see. We can even download it. I haven't seen that before. Okay, agree and download the file. So I can download. Looks like I can download the version, an audio version of it, and to listen to it, which would be kind of cool. And so this is how you look it up. This is the full text one. Now, if we wanted to limit this down, I'm going to close it out. If we wanted to limit this down and said, let's say that we're getting too many about so closed circuit, flow, influence, and liquid management of learning and skill. Some of these things, a study, flow, and computer gameplay, flow theories. Some of these might not be what you're looking for. Like one of them I kept getting, when I was looking at this earlier, I was getting stuff about traffic. And so if I did a flow theory and then traffic, let's do a little search. It says the memoirs on highway traffic flow theory in the 1950s. And so I kept getting stuff about traffic. And if I was getting too many of those things, I can always hit in there and say, not traffic. Okay, now there's only 120 of those. So now as we look that up, it'll have the other amount that we've looked up. Let me see if I can rephrase that. It'll have the other amount that we've already searched, the number of hits, and the number of search results, minus that had traffic inside of it. This is the basics of EBSCOhost or EBSCO. A lot of things in there. You can look through there. You can see that they're academic journals. They're actually telling us right here, so we don't have to go through and try to decide if they're academic journals or not. Let's drop down and see. This is a periodical. So the others are saying all academic journals. This says periodical. Well, let's see what this one's about. This one is from the Harvard Business Review Digital Articles. Okay. Well, let's go to the next one. Okay, academic journal. Let's go down. Let's see if we can find ones that are not academic journals. Just curious to see how many they've got on here. Most of those and all the first hits are all of an academic journals. But I can also come over here to the left-hand side and I can say, you know what, this is what I'm looking for. I want to have full text. I can undo that if I want to. References available. I can also tell it, and this is where it's kind of neat, I can tell it I want to have scholarly, peer-reviewed journals. So we're gonna click on that and let's see what it came up with. You know what? It still has 1,800 hits, almost 1,900 hits on it now that we've clicked that. We can also say I want the publication. Let me slide this up and we're gonna say I want to have stuff that is at least in the last 5 years. Okay, And let's see what it comes up with in the last 5 years. So now we have 438. So it means that other 1,500, they were from things that are more than 5 years old. But you can adjust that down. But that is the basics of the Utah's online library. Up here we have our reference collection, and this is the stuff that we pay for. This is the stuff that I think is just other resources that we have links to. Who knows? Maybe we do pay for some of that, but I didn't think that we did, but maybe we do. And that's the basics of the UEN, Utah's Online Library.